Hi, this is the business guy with Asset Protection Planners, and let's talk about protecting your home from lawsuits. How do you protect your house, your personal residence from creditors if somebody sues you? With your personal residence, we do two things, and sometimes three things. Number one, we put your home into a land trust for privacy of ownership. So that way your name doesn't appear in the public records when some attorney comes sniffing around for assets to see if they want to accept a contingency fee lawsuit against you. You don't assign the land trust to an LLC when it's your personal residence, and we'll show you why. Number two, we record an equity stripping lien against your home. That is a mortgage or deeded trust to pull the equity out of the property. And we do that for most people who live in states that don't protect enough of your home equity. Now, number one and two work in 99% of the cases. But in 1% of the cases, number three, we later get a third-party lender to purchase those liens and put the proceeds into an inaccessible account in an international asset protection trust. Now, to give you a little background, I've been in the asset protection field since 1991. That's over 30 years, and our company started in 1906. We have full-time licensed attorneys on staff. I believe we have over 65,000 clients in our database. And we are the nation's leading asset protection firm. So feel free to give us a call right now for a free consultation. Now, while you're at it, please take your mouse or your thumb and hit the like button below. It's a huge help so that YouTube promotes this video. Thanks so much. Plus, for your own benefit, if you want to, you can click the subscribe button so that when more videos come out like this, you'll get notified. Now, the personal residence strategy is different from protecting real estate investment rental properties. That is because your personal residence is in a different tax and legal category. With rental properties, we set up a land trust for privacy of ownership. Then we set up an LLC, and you assign the land trust to the LLC for lawsuit protection and asset protection. You can see our video on this topic. The LLC doesn't work on the home where you live for two big reasons. Number one, for tax reasons. You could lose the mortgage interest write-off. And as you probably know, when you own a home, you get to write off your mortgage interest to a certain limit. You could lose that if your property was in an LLC or a land trust with an LLC as beneficiary, because the IRS could say you're simply a tenant of the LLC. So the land trust/LLC combination works great for rental properties, but not for the house in which you live. Plus, when you sell your home for a profit, if you've lived there for a couple years, you get a huge exemption on taxes. Under the current Section 121 exclusion, you get to put $250,000 of tax-free profits in your pocket if you're single, $500,000 if you're married. You must have lived in the house 2 out of the last 5 years. So you can do that every 2 years. That's huge. You don't get that tax benefit on places where you never lived, such as rental properties that you may own, and you can lose that big tax break if the ultimate owner of your residence is an LLC. Again, the LLC works great on investment properties, but not on your home because the IRS gives different tax breaks to your personal residence than they do to your income-producing properties where you don't live. Okay, so the loss of your personal residence tax breaks is reason number one why we don't put your home in an LLC. Reason number two is the homestead exemption. Google the term Homestead Protection by State, and you'll see our website with our homestead video, and on that page you'll see a state-by-state chart of how much equity the law protects in each state. In Florida, where I live, if you have half an acre or less in a city or 160 acres outside the city limits, you can protect 100% of your equity from creditors. At the moment, O.J. Simpson still owes over $35 million to the families of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Burt Reynolds was $5 million in debt when he bought a mansion just north of me in Jupiter, Florida. You lose that protection if you put your home in a company. In Virginia, if a married couple gets into a lawsuit together and they have $1 million home, the creditor gets $990,000 and the couple only gets $10,000 because that is the homestead protection in Virginia. In New Jersey and Pennsylvania, you don't get any protection at all. So how can we lose our homes? The most common way is personal liability. You get into a car crash and you have $500,000 of insurance, but you get a judgment against you for $2 million. It happens every day. Just about all accident attorneys that you see on TV and the billboards take their cases on a contingency fee basis. The first thing they'll do is go after the insurance. The next thing they do is go after your real estate and your bank account. And they have no more sympathy for you than a pack of lions has for the baby gazelle. Hey, you're just their next meal. And if they don't get it from you or somebody like you, they don't eat. Plus, the judgment they slap on your house gets 10% bigger every year. That's the interest rate on civil judgment. So as you're paying down the mortgage, the judgment goes up and it just gets better and better for your creditor whenever you try to sell or refinance the property. Or they can simply foreclose on your property and forcefully rip it out from underneath you. That's why first we set up a land trust that you put your home into. We set up a Wyoming LLC, not to own the land trust, but to act as its trustee. And that's fine, even for your personal residence. The company should not be the beneficiary of the trust if it's your home, but it can be the trustee. So say the name of your trust is the 123 Maple Street Trust, and we'll call your Wyoming company Prime Properties LLC. And both of those names are on the deed in the public records instead of your name. So if these are your names, the title of your house used to read John Smith and Mary Smith. Now it reads 123 Maple Street Trust, comma, Prime Properties LLC, comma, a Wyoming limited liability company, comma, trustee. So when someone searches for your assets under your name, they find nothing. The second thing we do is set up another LLC and record an equity line of credit mortgage against your home, like a HELOC. Not the same LLC that serves as your trustee, because that would simply be a lender lending to itself. That would be an invalid mortgage. So we set up another LLC, preferably offshore, owned by your Offshore Asset Protection Trust, and we use that to record a mortgage against your home. And again, it's an equity line of credit, so there's no money changing hands. It's like getting an equity line of credit from Bank of America, and they record a mortgage against your property, but no money changes hands until you pull some of the money out of the credit line. Same thing here. No money changes hands until you decide to have your offshore LLC sell the mortgage to one of our offshore lenders. Then the proceeds goes into your Offshore Asset Protection Trust that nobody can touch. You would not be able to run away and spend that money because that would be too risky for the lender. But what it does is it shows the judge you recorded a mortgage against your house, you sold the mortgage to a third-party lender, and this happens all the time, one lender buying a mortgage from another, and that you receive the proceeds in your trust. So you have a legitimate third-party mortgage. So when you sell your house or refinance your house, the mortgage gets paid off offshore, and that money goes into your offshore account that you can touch, but nobody else, including your creditor, can. Plus, when somebody records a judgment in the county recorder's office, if you don't have the house in your own name because you have it in a land trust, it doesn't automatically attach to the house. They would have to jump through all kinds of legal hoops to get to the house. Meanwhile, you're getting the third-party lender involved to suck out all the equity. Now, if you live in a state such as Arkansas, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, or in D.C., or under the Puerto Rico safe home laws, you get 100% protection. So we would not use these strategies in these places. But if you think you can sell your house and move to one of these states once you cash out, they can immediately yank it out of your bank account or ask the judge to freeze your assets before you do. So the key thing about asset protection is to act immediately. We have two kinds of prospective clients, ones that see the threat and act immediately, and ones that procrastinate themselves into the poorhouse. Let me think about it. I want to talk to my CPA. I want to talk to my cousin Bobo, the attorney. So they specialize in asset protection, do they? No. Well, right now you're talking to an asset protection attorney who does, we say. You obviously need to do this, so let me send it to you in writing, what we're going to do, and get started. Just today, one of our on-staff attorneys had a client text him who wanted to talk to his lawyer first. Let me read you the series of text messages. Our attorney, did you hear back from your lawyer? Waiting, waiting, waiting. Courtesy response, please. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Hello? Prospective client, moot point now, I've been served. Our attorney, did the summons include a freeze on your assets? Prospective client, yes. You see, it was too late. Nothing we can do. So when you need asset protection, get it set up immediately. Don't head scratch. You have a tiny bump on your nose. Don't wait until your cancer is in stage 4 when you have 2 months to live before you get it taken care of. Same thing here. You don't head scratch until you have a noose around your neck. When you need asset protection, get on it. Just get it done. Call us and we can help you do that. So the key thing is the land trust and lien strategy simply works. You are putting up a fight and not just laying out in the street naked yelling, "Kick me." Don't be a victim. Put up a fight and do it right away. Then you either lose nothing or you use that as a leverage tool to negotiate a settlement for pennies on the dollar. The key thing is it puts you in the driver's seat instead of the greedy maniac who sued you. So give us a call, fill out a free consultation form on our website, and please remember to click like and subscribe below. This is The Business Guy.